I'm Diane Wallace. Welcome to Adorama TV. Today I have a very exciting new product from Sony. This is the Sony QX10. And if you're wondering, that looks like a lens, what's so exciting? It's way more than that. This is actually a whole camera. It's a smartphone attachable lens style camera is what they call it. Now you're not limited to your phone. You can actually use this with tablets as well. And what it does is it takes pictures for you with a zoom lens, and the sensor is built in, but you can see it doesn't have a viewfinder. That's because your smartphone or tablet becomes your viewfinder and you get this beautiful big screen to shoot your images. Let me show you how this works. It's actually incredibly simple. Now it doesn't have a viewfinder. That would be your mobile device. Today I'm using this very nice large screen LG phone so you can actually see it. Just download the free app. It's called Play Memories. It's by Sony. It's available for Android or iOS devices. Once you do that, turn on the camera. And then you'll see in your settings, a network will show up. Just choose that and immediately you'll start seeing images from your camera on your device. That's it. It's incredibly simple and easy to use. Operating your QX10 is really intuitive and so simple. There's a button on the side, that's your shutter release. There's another switch next to that to operate your zoom control. And that's it. It's very simple and intuitive. You can also operate those controls directly from your mobile device. So on your phone or your tablet, use the controls that show up in the app itself. You can operate this remotely. There are lots of different ways to use this camera, and Sony's made it really easy. So, of course, you can use it remotely. You see me holding it. You can certainly shoot handheld. On the bottom is a 1/4-20 thread. It's a standard tripod thread, so you can actually mount this to a tripod, which might make it easier. But they also made something really clever, which are these little bumps on the side. It gives the surface a nice flat area to sit on so that it doesn't roll. And you can actually sit it almost any place to take your pictures, which means when you're on vacation, you can put this on your car and not have to do the arm-length selfie. You can actually get a nice picture with you in it, operating it remotely while it's sitting. The other great thing is it comes with an attachable back that has clips that will attach directly to your smartphone. Let's talk about some technical specs on this camera. Now the QX10 does have a 1.23-inch Exmor-R CMOS sensor. It's an 18 megapixel sensor. It has a Sony G lens with a maximum aperture of f3.3 to f5.9. It has a 10x optical magnification. Now that's the 35 millimeter equivalent of 25 to 250 millimeters, so you get a nice wide zoom range. And it does movie files. They're MP4 files at 12 megabits per second. They're 1080p at 30 frames per second, so you get a nice high definition movie file. And it does have Sony's optical steady shot image stabilization. So your still pictures will be tack sharp and your video files will be nice and smooth. Images from the QX10 are stored both on your mobile device and on a micro SD card that fits inside the camera, and I'll show you how to get to it. You simply turn the dial, there's a button on the side, turn it to the lines that match and take the back off. That's your clip for your mobile phone. On the back then you'll see an open slider. Just pop that open. That's where your battery lives and your micro SD card. It pops right out. Now, if you put it in the wrong way, you'll see a red light that shows up on the top of the camera, and that's your indication. Just flip over your card and pop it back in again, and you're good to go. To charge your camera's battery, you do it with it in the camera itself. In one of the feet on the bottom, you'll see a little hidden door. It does actually say multi on it. Just pop that open, and the included USB cable will fit right in. If that wasn't exciting enough, Sony has a second model of this camera coming. It's called the QX100. And while the specs are largely similar to this camera, there are a few important differences. The first is it has a full 1-inch, 20.2 megapixel sensor. It's a CMOS sensor. It also has a Carl Zeiss T-Star coated lens that's a variable 1.8 zoom with a 35mm equivalent of 28 to 100 millimeters. I can see tons of really great uses for these cameras: nature photographers, sports shooters, any place where you can't physically be present or where your presence will interrupt the scene. Now you can really shoot remotely with a very accessible and easy to use, great quality camera from Sony. Thanks so much for joining me today.